Okay, so this is going to be an important video for free speech, the freedom of press, because it looks like Twitter is just censoring and silencing people who are talking about this news story or even sharing it. So, of course, we're going to talk about it here on this YouTube channel, which was one of the first YouTube channels to be demonetized. Yeah, wish us luck. Holy cow, we're in more trouble again. So yeah, before we start, don't forget to support this independent media broadcast because we rely on your support and your donations to survive. And simply going to wearechange.org/donate, even just giving $5 a month means the world to us and keeps us fully free and independent and willing to take these stupid risks, which we always do, you know, for the benefit of free speech, for the benefit of humanity being able to freely communicate. One of the major stepping stones of sovereignty, of individual liberty, of you know, just being able to talk freely without being worried about a power coming in and smashing that right. Which, again, this is what this video is going to be all about. Now, already what I'm seeing here is already 3 people being censored, blocked, and taken down for tweeting about this. And this is a specific story that was written by the Torrent Freak, which was a news article talking about how a new online TV show leaked online and was available on torrents. The TV show was, of course, from the Starz network, which is a major kind of TV network, TV studio out there. And Torrent Freak did not link to where people could bootleg and watch this movie online for free. Didn't tell people, hey, you should do this. No, it simply reported on the fact that there was a major leak. This major company contacted Twitter, and Twitter said, who's right here? A journalistic company talking about an event that happened, or a major corporation that says take it all down? Guess where they turned? Take it all down. That's exactly what Twitter did. Deleting, of course, the tweet, then deleting the tweet, reporting about the deletion in itself from Matthew Ingram, who writes for the Columbian Journalism Review. We've been critical of him before, but I fact-checked everything here, and it looks legit, where he just wrote this article talking about the deletion of his deletion, with the article here titled, Twitter deletes link to news story due to bogus copyright claim. And then the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, tweeted again, and guess what happened to the EFF? Well, they also got blocked and taken down because of just simply mentioning this story and mentioning of the fact that a major company got hacked, and the major company is saying, shush, you're no longer able to talk about this newsworthy event for the pure benefit of their profits, which Twitter, of course, is seeing as more important here in this case, the private corporate profits of Starz, than, of course, the basic freedoms of journalism, of freedom of speech, of the freedom of the press, which doesn't matter to them. And this doesn't surprise them. And this is exactly what happened, what I've been warning about in the previous video when people are calling for censorship. This is the road that we're on. This is only the beginning, and it's only going to get a lot worse from here. But let's give you the full details of exactly what happened here, because this story is still breaking and developing as we were reporting on it, but it looks like Twitter finally came to its senses, finally had enough of a backlash, and decided to restore the original tweet by Torrent Freak, which, by the way, has now been blocked for over 4 days and is now officially restored. The EFF tweet was also blocked for about a day. I'm still not sure about this other journalist, Matthew Ingram, if his tweet was or was not restored. But the facts of the case was that there was a coordinated effort by Twitter to censor any mention of this larger hack, which Starz said was a supposed copyright violation and infringement, which obviously wasn't. Now, there's another important learning lesson here. Obviously, when you have a mass corporation that is losing money and money is on the line, they will sometimes, most likely, bend the laws and the rules and a lot of times morals and their values for the sake of that profit, which Starz did here illegally. They knew that reporting on this was not a copyright infringement, but they went to Twitter and said, hey, Twitter, they're doing something bad. They're stealing from us. No, they weren't stealing. They were just reporting on you guys not having secure enough content. And of course, being either hacked or having some kind of person internally release some videos, whatever. That was your own internal problem that Stars had to deal with. Twitter saw, hey, here's a big corporation that most likely advertises with us, has a lot of controlling interest, has a lot of things that show how powerful they are, a lot more powerful than the peon journalists, than the news organizations reporting on this. Who are we going to side with automatically without looking at any other information? Sided with, of course, that big power entity, which is important to understand here because obviously Twitter will always succumb to power. And with how powerful it is in itself, there's a lot of things to worry about here and to really consider as we're moving forward, and with how many people are being just suppressed on the platform and for what reasons are they really getting deleted and pretty much taken out of the public circle, the public discourse, the public square of discussion that now dominates the Twitter sphere. And this Matthew Ingram really says it best when he says, quote, "Have you ever had something you posted mysteriously disappear from the internet? It's a bizarre experience, especially when it's a result of an overreaching copyright claim. That's exactly what happened to me this weekend." And it's interesting that this is mainly happening to what I see as a kind of leftist news organization, because it has been people predominantly on the left calling for Twitter to have this authority. And people aren't seeing the blurring of the lines here, because ultimately you stand on two sides here, that you believe in freedom of speech or you don't believe in freedom of speech. And a lot of people don't understand those lines. And as Matthew puts it, this is disturbing because this is what's going to happen now, because the precedent has been set and the powerful now have superseding authority over us that trumps the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. That doesn't matter to them because allegedly they're a private entity, when in reality, when you look at all the big tech monopolies, Amazon, Google, Twitter, Facebook, all of them have some kind of relation to getting either benefits or directly being helped by government to be started. Meanwhile, cooperating with them, of course, spying on you as well with every aspect and detail of your life. That's a whole nother thing that needs to be addressed here, because they're able to get away with this because they're allegedly private, which I call absolute hooey on. And let's be honest here, only because of the outcry, only because of more news organizations talking about this, did Twitter actually reverse this ban. And if it wasn't for people screaming about this, making noise about this, letting people know that, hey, this is an actual issue, Twitter wouldn't have actually done anything, because they would have, again, looked at who is saying what, who has the amount of authority and power here, and of course, side with them. Now that the voices of the independent people and journalists have become somewhat more powerful than Stars, especially in reaction to this, this is the only reason they capitulated, when otherwise, if there wasn't this much noise, they wouldn't. The corporate technocratic overlords ruling almost every aspect of our lives is closer than you think, and we're teetering on that reality the more we allow them to have this authority over us and to get away with it. Your voices are important. Your voices are more important than they ever have been. And that's why it's important to speak out about events like this, incidences like this, and other incidences that happen all over the world. To make my argument more solid about Twitter not doing anything unless we speak out against it, here's more proof with Matthew Ingram saying that he even got an official email from Twitter telling them that his reporting was encouraging people to post a link to torrent-free freak news sites. And again, how is that even like, this makes absolutely no sense at all, to have them doubling down the way they did and only just respond how they did, moving in the right direction. And these absolute idiots like CNN contributor Raza Aslan, the man who, I think he's a former contributor now, the man who ate brains on CNN, let me clarify that, he ate brains on CNN, is still screaming, "We need to ban people. We need to ban Donald Trump on Twitter because he hurts feelings and emotion." When in reality, the hypocrisy is layered here in so many different levels. He's the one who was telling people, ultimately insinuating how kids who, again, were vindicated with more video evidence coming out, were allegedly around the Covenant case, allegedly blocking this Native American from moving forward. Again, a whole case, this is even crazy to get into. But when that case was involving, Raza Aslan asked, have you ever seen a more punchable face? Calling for, of course, insinuating, of course, violence on teenagers. That's totally fine, but his feelings are hurt about Trump and his Ilhan Omar, Trump's Twitter activity. Come on now. And then literally it's this delusion. It's this just absolute mental retardation, scientifically speaking here, mental retardation that is causing the current scenario where, of course, Twitter is your Lord and Savior, deciding what you can and cannot see in the future, and that will be abused by, of course, the power entities out there. Duh, because that's what power does. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Stop giving them absolute power while being a two-faced hypocrite, you former CNN brain-eating scumbag piece of trash doo-doo head. Ah! Sorry, I had to get some anger out. I've been sitting at the desk here all day. It's incredulous. It's absolutely incredulous that we have this man calling for Donald Trump to be banned, calling for other people to be banned, when he's calling for violence. Again, this is what it really is. This is what it really is. Let's see it for what it actually is from its face value. Calling for power, violence on your behalf, because you can't take responsibility for yourself as a man, as an individual. That's exactly what this is. This is exactly what this story is all about. These private corporate monopoly interests are not acting and abiding by the First Amendment. We still have remnants of the First Amendment here in the United States, unlike other countries, unlike the United Kingdom, that literally banned satirical coverage of their supposed inbred royalty getting married, or like in Brazil, where comedians are going to jail because they made jokes and made harmful comments against politicians that, of course, didn't like them and used the law to, of course, bring them down. This is the rules that Twitter is playing by. They don't believe in freedom of speech, and the only way that they will ever somehow practice and respect it is, of course, if enough people make enough noise. This is why you guys are more important than ever. This is why I keep saying, hey, your support is more important than ever. But more importantly, if you're on the wearechange.org website, sign up on our email list. Our time here is limited. You think for yourself, fool, because holy sakes, the revolution, information that will help you and empower you most likely will not be in your timeline. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.